Hi everybody and welcome to Heel Heat. This is our WWE show for the week. My name is George Coles. This is my tag team partner, Dirty Dick Murdoch.
Hey, Gary Rhodes, everybody.
We're going to go right into the WWE Raw show. We had the first segment. John Cena comes out, gets pretty much booed out of the building. Says he's going to fight his first night as champion, which brings out the world's strongest man, Mark Henry.
Somebody's going to get their ass whooped?
That brings out Booker, who says that Rock is the #1 contender, so if Henry beats Cena later tonight, he gets a title shot. Which?
I don't know. Like I said, this reminds me of too much of last year's after WrestleMania with the whole Punk and Henry deal. But it is what it is. We're going to start with our first match of the night. How about that?
Daniel Bryan versus Big E Langston.
How'd you like that match?
I thought it was a good match. They gave it, I think they gave it right about 5-6 minutes. So I'd like to see what Daniel Bryan could do with Big E with a longer match. Big E does not look bad in the ring so far.
No.
He's good. I mean, he's someone I've seen on NXT, and he's been good on NXT. You know, sometimes when they come up from NXT, though, or it doesn't pan out as well in the bigger leagues.
No. Like I said, you're in there with Daniel Bryan, though, and that's the good thing is if you're, basically a rookie to national television, you want to be in there with a guy like Daniel Bryan, like I was talking about earlier, or with the other, the Chris Jericho. You want to be in there with a guy that can help carry you and cover your mistakes.
Yes.
Because you're going to make a mistake. You're a rookie. You're green. You're a greenhorn.
It's a Green Hornet.
You're K-Fab. Anyway.
Then we had the next match was The Miz versus Wade Barrett, a rematch from WrestleMania for the Intercontinental title. And for whatever reason, Barrett wins it back one night later.
I don't know what the deal of it was behind there. I haven't heard if Miz was injured or anything like that.
Well, there have been 4 other guys that have had one-day Intercontinental title runs, and that was Y2J, Edge, Jeff Jarrett, and I don't remember who the 4th is, but 3 of the 4 are all Hall of Famers.
I don't think Jeff Jarrett's in the Hall of Fame.
No, the other guy was. I forget who it was. His name's slipping my memory right now. But anyway, so, I mean, that could be bigger and better things for Miz. I think they realized the reaction he got when he won wasn't what they wanted, so they put it right back on Barrett. Barrett gains more being an Intercontinental Champion than Miz does.
Exactly. Now, we're going to have a handicap match coming up next.
Handicapped?
Handicap match coming up next. ADR versus Jack Swagger and Zeb Coulter.
I thought it was a good match. Zeb Coulter wasn't used much. I liked the psychology of it. And
Swag was a monster.
And this, other than the opener, this is when the crowd really started getting on. The whole match, they were chanting, "We want Ziggler." And after Swagger did some damage to Del Rio's leg, even though Del Rio won, we got the music. And I think the biggest pop of the night, Dolph Ziggler came out, and you couldn't even hear his music. That's how loud the crowd was for it. Dolph cashes in. Finally, after months and months of speculation, we get world champion Dolph Ziggler.
And I'm so happy for the guy. This guy here, his other world championship run was, what, a day or two? I mean,
he doesn't even count. No, it was one. It wasn't even one show. It was like 10 minutes.
Something like that. It was so minute.
Vicky Guerrero gave him the belt, and then Edge beat him for it, like, right after.
Exactly.
It was kind of like the Shane Douglas was the other guy.
That's right, yeah. I'm so happy for Dolph, though. This guy here has been in the business for a long time, and he's worked his way up. This guy here started with shit gimmicks, cheerleading, caddying before that, and right now he's better than all his other peers that he started off with.
I could totally agree. Dolph Ziggler totally deserves this. I'm happy that he got it. I'm really excited for what he's going to do with the belt.
Me too.
Now, coming off of that, we had The Undertaker, who started talking, was going to begin to talk about his match with CM Punk when the Shield's music hit.
Sierra.
The Shield comes down to the ring, kind of look at Taker. Before they could get in the ring, we hear Kane's music, and Team Hell No comes out and saves Taker. Shield backs off. Hopefully it's a foreshadowing of a match at the next pay-per-view. We get a 6-man Hell No and Taker versus the Shield.
What I wouldn't mind seeing, how about this? The Hell No and Taker versus the Shield for the Tag Team Championship. Then the Shield could defend it in Freebird rules.
There you go.
I think that would be the next best step for these guys.
Either way, they could do it at the Freebird rules anyway.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, get the belt on them, and they have the pleasure of beating the Undertaker.
There you go. Next match of the night, speaking of a 6-man match, we had R-Truth, Zack Ryder, and Santino Marella versus a 3MB. Basically, this was your go up and get some popcorn match. Actually, I thought it was better than it should have been. I mean, it wasn't a horrible match. It wasn't a great match.
It just really says, what the hell's happening to R-Truth? You know, they're bringing him down to Ryder and Marella right now.
There you go.
I just don't get it.
Now, speaking of the guys in this match, that reminds me of our question of the week from last week. We had, with it being after WrestleMania, usually there's cuts. Who do you think is going to be fired? Now, before we get into our opinion, we got some of our friends. The first is from Paul over at the Deadly Sins. I see Santino and Zack Ryder being cut. Second is from the Slapmaster 3000. Zack Ryder is likely to be released. And then from our friend Choppy84, who actually went to WrestleMania, the person that's going to be released is Zack Ryder, hands down. Now, they're all saying Ryder. Who do you think?
You know, my heart tells me Ryder, but the thing is, I think that Vince realizes if he fires Ryder, he's going to have like another Matt Hardy internet kind of thing where people are going to fight to get him back, and he's going to have to give him a belt or give him a higher spot. I don't think the fans would miss Morello, so I'm going with Santino.
I'm going to go with someone that no one's mentioned yet, Ted DiBiase. He's a guy that's continually getting injured, and when he's put on TV, he's not reaching his full potential.
Well, I go, that's a good pick, but I think he's going to want to leave anyways. I don't think he's going to be shit canned.
Well, I could see him easily being a cut that no one cares about, and I hate to say it because he's one of your heroes' kids. I could see McGillicuddy being another guy that gets cut that no one even pays attention to.
And the kid's got talent, it's just they're not letting him use it.
Now, coming off of that, our question of the week for this week, now that we've seen Fandango a couple times, what do you guys think of it? I know a lot of people didn't like his stalling for the wrestling, but now he's wrestled a few matches, he's been on a couple shows back to back. What do you guys think? Hit us up on our Facebook, hit us up on our Twitter, put it down where?
Down there.
Right down in the comments. Now, coming off of that, we go into a match. This is one of the few flaws I had of the night. There was a poll for the fans to see who would face the Big Show, and Orton destroyed in the poll. However, the two GMs, Vicky and Booker, came out and said we're going to have Sheamus versus Orton.
They want to have your fans do
exactly.
Exactly.
Only problem I had tonight. The crowd took over this match. No one wanted to see it. And the crowd went from cheering RVD,
JBL,
ECW, the more important thing, Michael Cole, Justin Roberts, Mike Chioda, Randy Savage.
We Are Awesome.
X-Pac. This is where the crowd really began to pick up. There were smatterings of the crowd being into it. The crowd was into it all night, but at this point, the crowd
just blew
the crowd became the show more than the wrestlers, and that's not a bad thing.
No,
I don't think that Orton and Sheamus handled it well and got them on track to where they would cheer for either of these. Hence, why they were cheering for everybody else but who was in the ring.
So finally, the Big Show comes.
Yep. He gets a thank you, Big Show, for knocking them both out.
He destroys them both. Throws the chairs. He throws two of the announce table chairs.
One more time.
One more chair. One more chair. It was awesome. If I had a choice between being at WrestleMania this year or at that Raw, I would have chose that Raw. That Raw would have been hands down.
It was basically it was a 30,000 strong ECW crowd.
Yeah.
They were cheering the heels, and then after that match we had Fandango versus Kofi Kingston. We get a little bit into the match, and Y2J comes down. First of all, they come out. Fandango comes out. The crowd goes apeshit for him. They're humming his theme music
through the match.
Through the match. Jericho comes out, destroys him.
But he played to the crowd.
He played to the crowd. He grabs the mic after they said he wins by disqualification. He goes, "No, it's Fandango." Crowd goes crazy again for him.
But the thing is, when Jericho came out, he played to the crowd. That's something that we're talking about. Orton and Sheamus didn't do. They ignored the crowd, and that's just wrong. You have a crowd that's that over on you, or they could have. Sheamus and Orton could have made it a bigger opportunity for their careers if they would have played with the crowd. I think they really screwed up.
I mean, definitely you got Dolph Ziggler has his superstar making moment where he's broke the glass ceiling. Fandango's made a star this night.
Ziggler, I think, he's going to bring legitimacy back to the world title. I like Del Rio in it, but it just didn't get that upper echelon push. I think he's going to bring that to the world title.
Did you see some of the tweets about him winning? Just to get a little bit off the subject. Billy Gunn says, "I'd like to congratulate my son for winning the world title."
Yeah, because the famouser.
Well, he looks like him.
He does too. Yeah.
And then the funniest one I seen was Amy Schumer put, "Maybe I should ask my boyfriend to back out, my ex-boyfriend to go back out with me."
Yeah.
But back on the show.
It was such a good Raw, man. I tell you, I love saying that because there's been so much shit lately from them.
We had the axed match from WrestleMania for time constraints. Brodus, Tensai, and the Funkadactyls versus the Rhodes Scholars and the Bellas. This was a great 5-minute match.
It was.
I really enjoyed this match thoroughly. They could have easily cut 2, 3, 5 of the promos they showed on WrestleMania.
They still had a dozen left.
And put this on there, and it would have made WrestleMania a lot. It would have added to the WrestleMania card. It fit really well in here. It worked well. The guys flew around the ring. I thought it was awesome.
Totally agree.
And then we go right into the main event. Mark Henry versus John Cena. To this crowd, Mark Henry was the face.
Cena did try to play the crowd at first. I'll give him that. He tried to dance because they were still humming Fandango's fucking theme song. And, he's doing this stuff. And Henry, boom, knocks him down. I ain't here to dance.
The only thing I didn't like about the match, I thought it was a decent match. The only thing I didn't like was Cena won by count out. It was a little bit weak.
It was like a 2-minute match.
Yeah.
So out comes Ryback. Ryback takes care of Henry.
And then Ryback and Cena, he helps him up. They're sitting there, Ryback starts his chant, "Feed me more." And probably the second biggest pop of the night happens when Ryback, I don't even know if you call it turning heel because the fans ate it up.
Mm-hmm.
Ryback gives a meat hook clothesline to Cena, hits him with the shove.
Finish it.
The crowd was eating it up like you're feeding them Pez. They were just going.
I've said it before. I'm not really big on the whole Ryback push. I mean, I respect it. And the guy deserves it. He's worked there long enough.
He's over, man.
But when he clotheslined John Cena and put him in that shell shock, boy, I think I'm a Ryback fan.
The guy is over. The crowd loves him. As seen by tonight, even with the horrible booking over the last few months with him losing so much, they just want to see somebody that's not John Cena. And they even said at the beginning of the night when Cena came out, they were chanting "same old shit."
Mm-hmm. This crowd really made this Raw, and we've been really hard on Raw for the past since Royal Rumble, and we've had our rating system. Yeah. And George and I came up with something a little different for this show. We'll give them the regular rating system.
Well, normally we do a rating of 1 to 5. 5 being the best, 1 being the worst. 1's a John Cena, 2's a Big Show, 3's a Sheamus, 4's a Daniel Bryan, 5's a CM Punk. For this night's Monday Night Raw, we didn't think a 5 was good enough.
No.
We're going to give this the first time, and this will only be used on very special occasions, an HBK.
Hold yourself together, kids. Hold yourself together. That's
and we both agree on. It's that much better than our ratings. I'm not saying that HBK is that much better than Punk.
But he's a wrestling god.
Exactly. We're giving an HBK just something that's off the charts. the crowd made it. Ryback was awesome. Fandango was awesome. Fandango was made a star tonight. Ziggler was made into a superstar tonight after being right there, ready to break through. The tease of Taker and Helmo versus the Shield, that was enough to get me happy for the whole night. The Bros Clay team match, I liked that very much. There's not anything I could pull off of this show that I disliked.
There wasn't a down point in the whole show.
Well,
really, I mean, there was some slower parts, but really wasn't like dragging you down like there has been in the last 3 months of wrestling. This here is a reason people should be wrestling fans.
Maybe Rock should skip and they have to redo this game.
Well, like you said to me earlier, you know, this show was that great. It was thrown together quicker. They didn't overthink it, and that's a lot of Vince's problems is he overthinks stuff. And there was only one part-timer the whole show, and that was a Taker, and he was just out there for a minute.
Yeah. You know? I mean, look at the guys that got over tonight. Dolph Ziggler was over. I mean, Ryback was over. Fandango. If they don't run with Fandango now, I fully expect, much like the Yes shirts came out 2 weeks after WrestleMania last year, we're going to see a Fandango shirt with just a da-da-da-da-da-da
all over it. But as you can see, the happiness on my face shows how great that show was. Because I've been disappointed for months with all of WWE's product. This has been the best product that I've seen in forever. I can't think of a better one.
And the fans had a lot to do with it.
They did, you know. Like I said, this is an HBK show.
HBK?
HBK all the way?
All the way.
All right.
Basically, that's all I got to say. Anything you need to add?
That's it for me, my friend.
My name is George Coles.
Gary Rhodes.
And this has been Heel Heat.